Welcome to International Racing League Season 15 F1 Round 1 at Austria. I'm your commentator IRL Neon, or as Jared Fosbury. I'm on my own today, and well, it's Round 1 then for the IRL season, for number 15 season going. And we are very excited and looking forward to see what the drivers can bring after we had an exciting pre-season where we saw the Williams pair do some very decent racing between them, even though they had a bit of contact between Edward and Curtis in the pre-season race, but they did look quick. Same with Cameron. Cameron is looking for some strong pace today as well. Unfortunately, a couple of drivers who did pre-season can't make today's round, but they will be back for the next. As voice chat has just been suspended, obviously. Right now we have 16 drivers in the lobby. We are expecting a full grid for tonight, so we are looking forward to see what we can do. Do we have any new faces for today? Liam, we have OP Liam, who raced last season for one of the rounds, won his first round in Bahrain, I believe it was, on his debut race. Won with flying colours, and then unfortunately couldn't make any of the other races. And I believe Luke Baker raced last time out in the pre-season round. Sandra's in for today as he didn't want to do pre-season. By the moment we have 17, just waiting for 3 more drivers, and we should be going underway very soon in the next 4 minutes. And if you guys do want to put your predictions down for qualifying, then do leave them down. I will already predict my top 3 for qualifying. Then I'm going to go with the Williams pair. Curtis in first, Edward second, but I'm going to give Cameron a shot in third. I think he could be very close to the Williams pairs. They do look quick. That will be my qualifying prediction. If you want to leave yours, do put them in the live chat and we'll have a look at that. And if you're also still interested, sign up to IRL. Hopefully we get a couple more sign-ups and we can get this F2 tier underway. We're still looking forward for that. It's a goal for us this season to try and get an F2 tier. So hopefully you can race and want to participate for that. Until then, we'll stick to the 1 tier for now. We're just waiting for a couple more drivers to join the lobby. So, is Cameron going to win a back-to-back championship? That's going to be the question on his mind this season. Will he be able to pull some off, which Edward and Alfie couldn't do, as Edward won the season 13 championship, I believe, and Alfie won season 12. As Cam obviously won season 14, and Bran, obviously, he was not able to make today's race, has missed out on a championship 3 times in a row, technically 4 if you count the summer season as well, which we had I think 2 years ago when he was fighting with Matthew Ord, I believe, for a title fight in a special 4 races. I believe we had an FP race, an equal race, and then I think a classic car race and an F2 equal car race as well. And I believe either Matthew or Tim won that event for the championship. So we're still waiting on 3 people. See who we are waiting on as of right now. Nobody has said anything yet in the Discord chat. Just gonna have a quick drink, back in a sec. And I am back. Still waiting on 3 drivers then. I believe we are missing a... What are we missing actually? We are missing the AlphaTauri pair, which is Alfie and Cam. So that's all we're missing on that side. I thought they were in the lobby, but they're not yet. So we're waiting for Alfie and Cameron Young. We're also missing a Ferrari for today. Let's have a look then. Who is meant to be in the Ferrari as of for today then? Got to drive line up. Josh, I believe, as Cameron and Alfie have made it, so we are waiting for one more driver today. Yes, we're waiting on QRT Josh or WO Josh. He's meant to be in the Ferrari. I think he's either forgot. But we are at 8 o'clock then. But we have a 19 car grid, which is brilliant to see for the first round. We're just waiting for the tier admin and the owner and the director to give the go ahead, and we should be getting on with this race very soon. I wonder if there's going to be any wet weather involved for today's race. It could spice it up a little bit, potentially even in quali or in the race itself. Some of these drivers have been practicing a lot on the slicks today, but I have to wait and see for that, as it's 1 minute past 8. Still waiting on the Ferrari, unless he's having issues joining the lobby, which I hope isn't the case. And as I said, if you are interested of signing up, do look on the IRL Twitter, which is at F1_IRL. It should have the Discord link there, and if you're interested, click the F1 sign up in the Discord chat and type your name in, and we'll put you in as a reserve for F1. But if there's enough, as we've said, there will be a second tier if we do have enough sign-ups for that, which we're not that far. I think we need like 6 or 8 more sign-ups for that to have a green light and to go ahead. As I said, is this season to have 2 tiers running, back to how it used to be. And a lot more drivers probably will sign up for that second tier as well, especially since they won't be able to match some of these guys' pace for the top. Although anything can happen. As I think we're going to go at 5 past, I believe. Let's have a look, see if anybody's set out. Oh yeah, we're going to start at 5 past. And we should be getting going. As some of you do remember last season, where the quali for pole was 2 points if you took pole position. That is no longer a thing this season. We decided to make it just simple, like real life, with the fastest lap point as normal and the top 10 points normal. So if you win the race 25, you get obviously the fast lap is 26. So we left the stands the same a bit, just removed the fastest lap thing for pole, the 2 extra points, to make it a bit easier for the stands, and I think it was not really necessary to have the 2 points for the fastest lap, and I think some of the admin team did agree on that as well. As of right now though, any other new faces joined who didn't race for pre-season? No, I believe it's just Sondre and Liam. And Oliver as well. Oliver has made a return to racing this season. It's been a while since we saw him on the grid. I believe it was 2020 F1 game he last time raced, and he still's got some solid pace as well in that car. So if he can have a good result today, as some of the drivers are starting to ready up now. As we're still waiting on the Ferrari, got 1 more minute to go, and we should be going into the qualifying session. As I said, my top 3 are Lewis for pole, Edward second, and Cameron in third. That's my top 3 today. Person I think will finish last day, probably Sondre. I think Sondre will probably finish last. He has put a bit of practice in, but I think he'll make a mistake or something like that, which he's known to. Especially in Jeddah, when it was under the safety car condition, he did spin the car. But a lot of drivers now are starting to ready up, so I think we are getting ready then. It isn't 5 past yet, but it's probably not that far off. And everybody's been given the green light to ready up then, so let's wait for the countdown to go. We have 15 seconds remaining. As Ross Sondre haven't ready up. Neither that's Charlie and the McLaren, but we're underway then for the first round of IRL at Austria. As people now are picking their tyre allocations, probably some guys picking the harder tyre strategy to have an extra set of mediums and a set of hards for quality. Also, some of the guys will be keeping it balanced or even going the softer tyre and potentially trying to do 3, maybe 4 if they can do 2 laps on one tyre in this session. It'll be very close, but I think 3 runs is probably the best solution for some of these drivers, as we're just waiting on Lee and Alex, who's carrot finger, to ready up then. And we should be going underway in the next 10 seconds. And the skies look clear, so no threat of rain at the present time, although we did see that at Portimao, where the skies were clear at the start, but it came very heavy near the end. As we've got all this telemetry up then. Who is going to leave the pit lane first for round number 1 in the qualifying session? It looks like it's Cameron Young, the defending champion. Cameron then leaving the pit lane, if we can find him. There he is. And he's already out the pits then. Out of his garage, and there's the Haas there in the background. Is that Millen? No, it's not. It's actually Lee Kelly, I believe, who's leaving the pits. Oh, then, Cameron then. Here's the first one out. Yep, Lee is the next one out behind, as Lee did show some strong pace in Portimao. A bit of contact between him and Cameron as well in the race. Cameron said he had a bit of understeer. I don't believe that, as he's been known to shoving people a bit off the track now and then. He says it's hard and fair racing, but I disagree. But let's see what then Cameron can bring to Austria then to try and reclaim his title this season. As Cameron then will be the first one to begin a lap, and a lot of the drivers now are leaving the pit lane now as well. As a couple of drivers still in there, a couple of Red Bulls, Mercedes, McLaren and an Aston still in the pit lane. Oh then, Cameron then beginning his flying lap then, approaching the final 2 corners. Got to get this right this season. Got to avoid track limits as well. It's easy to pick up pens as well in this game. Although Cameron then through the final corner, ERS to full. Maximum pace down the straight as a car, leaving the pit lane. Hopefully that doesn't get in his way as he's going through turn 1. Let's see if he cuts the curb. Nice and tight there. Gets a decent enough exit now. Picks up to 7th and approaching 8th gear. Top of the speed, almost 200 miles an hour down the straight. Hits the braking zone. 59 the first sector. Oh, he runs a bit deep through 2. Has he backed off? I think he might have. And yes, he has. He has backed off on that lap. We'll go on board with Lee Kelly, the other Haas driver then. As the AlphaTauri and the Red Bull move out the way then. As Lee is going to be the first one to set a banker time. And hopefully provisional pole for him. Let's see what he can do in the second sector then. Through the double left. Got to get your traction zone perfect. And he keeps it under control for now. 44.6 in the second sector. We'll find out if that is quick or not. Keeps it under control there through the little chicane. Approaching the final 2 corners now. Here comes Lee then. Rides the curb a little bit. Avoids the exit curb. Cuts the final corner and he gets an invalidation. What time would it have been? It would have been a 1.3.9. So that would have been decent lap. Cameron then does set a provision over 13 flat. I do apologise if you see a black screen on the top right corner. But let's have a look aboard with Millen then. In the other Haas, looking quick. Let's see what he can do. Round the final couple of corners. Into the final, keeps it within track limits just as Alfie sets the new fastest lap with a 4 flat. Millen with a 4.1, 10th behind the pace. However, though, Curtis picks up the pace already, a 3.8 then for the Williams driver. Edward in second with a 1.3.9. Not a bad time for the Williams pairing then as we try and go on board with the rest of the grid, rest of the drivers. Let's have a look aboard with the Ferrari of Toxic MML, who was in the Red Bull in pre-season. He has invited, so we won't go on board then. What about Lordy? Let's see what he can do to increase his pace today. He's done a 4.2, not a bad lap there. Moves into 5th position. Ollie in 6th with a 4.4. Luke Baker with a 5.3 and Mumford with a 5.3 as well. And then obviously Cameron with a 13 flat. Hello, going to go on board with Alex then in the other Red Bull. Let's see what he can do and see what time he can set at the moment at Austria. Round the final 2 corners. Keeps it within track limits. Avoids cutting the curb. Takes it a bit cautious. Cameron then his new fastest out at 3.7. Not a bad time. And here comes Carrot Finger. He does a 4.9 then. Goes 10th place. And good evening, Brian. It's good to see you in the chat. Shame you can't race today. Let's go on board Raven Ross Denon, as nickname Donut Denim, as he likes to be called. Let's have a look then through the middle sector. Oh, makes a little error there. A bit of a twitch to the Aston there. He's probably going to have to back off that lap. He might use it just as a bank there. Not feeling... Oh, he's looking again a bit twitchy there on the back end of that Aston Martin. He's not looking quick in the second sector at all. And I think he's peeling into the pits. As I go on board with his teammate Tony, who's invalidated. I don't believe anybody else is on a fast lap. But we're going to go on board with the old man. Sondra Sohail, Glenn. Oldest of the bunch, ready to begin his flying lap then for Alpine this season. He wasn't the Ferrari last season, but got put in the Alpine with Mumford this season. See what he can do as he's getting prepared for his flying lap as the AlphaTauri is peeling into the pits. Let's go on an on-board lap then for Sondra. As he's approaching turn number 1, nice and tidy there, keeps it under control, avoids cutting the curb. He can go over that curb a little bit, but avoids it altogether. Let's see what his first sector time is then. Speed of 203 miles an hour, at 16.1 there, so he's 3 miles an hour quicker than Cameron was in the first sector. Let's see what he can do in the middle split then, as DRS is active. Down the third straight then. A lot of overtaking opportunities at this track for today. Let's see what the Sondra can do then. As he has an Aston ahead, I believe that is Tony, beginning another lap. Nice and tidy through the second sector. See what it is. It's a 45 flat. Apparently, it is purple. Now, I don't believe Sondra is challenging for pole, but, well, if he is, it might be a surprise. As he's approaching the final couple of corners, he's got an Aston ahead. He's probably going to have to watch out for that. Oh, and he just invalidates by exceeding track limits, but let's see what time he would have set on the board. And it's going to be a 1 minute 4.5. I'll put him in between Ollie and Cameron Armstrong. That's a shame it was invalidated for Sondra there, as if it lets me, I don't know why it was glitched there, it wouldn't let me select a driver. I want to go on board with the McLaren of Charlie then, approaching the final corner now. No lap time set at the moment, but he is on the soft tyre. Coming to the line, and it's going to be a 4.4 then, moves to 8th position at the present time. What about Toxic MML? Is he now on a fast lap? No, he's going to begin a flying lap very shortly. And Josh did make it into the session, so we do have a 20-car grid then, which is good to see. As here comes Toxic MML then. Down the long straight into 1. Goes to curb it a little bit. Oh, struggles with the rear end on the exit, but keeps under control of that, spinning the car there. And then let's see what his first sector time is. I believe he started in 19.1. Let's see what Toxic MML can do. 16 flat there in the first sector. Not a bad first sector then for the Ferrari. Keeps it under control through turn 2. Well, they say turn 3, but I don't see where the classic little bump in the circuit as a second turn. Either through the right hairpin. Keeps it under control. Very interested around in that curb there. Almost goes on the grass. As he's now approaching the double left-hander then. Let's see what his second sector split is. Is it going to be purple or anything like that? Apparently it is. A 44.6. The Ferrari is really picking up the pace right now. But that's the Aston of Ross then, approaching the final corner, beginning his flying lap. Just keeps it within track limits, doesn't do what Sondra did, but what about the final corner? Just keeps it again within the white line. What time is it going to be? It's going to be a 1:03.8 there, moves to second position, only 1/10 off Cameron. As Ross has called it DNF, and there's a reason why he's called it DNF. He's collected a Haas there, I believe, and that was Millen, and Cameron Armstrong's also lost the car somewhere. There's been carnage already, as his nickname is Donut Denham, has taken out Millen, it looks like. The front wing is completely gone off the car, and that is a shame for him, as we're going to go on board with Tony very soon. As at the moment, Liam has invalidated, not a lap time set. What about Lee Kelly? Lee comes to the line, keeps it within the track, starting his flying lap now, even though his banker is a 1:13.8, which is just set. We'll go on board with him then. Through turn 1, yellows through sector 1 though, due to the incident. Cameron Armstrong and Ross are the only retirements in the quali session, as Lee gets a cheeky bit of slipstream there, potentially from Ollie Flavel. As there's a 16 flat there, 10th up in the first sector, purple in the first sector as well. So Lee is picking up the pace, what he had in Portimao as well, as the Merc moves out of the way. He's collected some damage. I believe that could be Ushin. So have a look, it is Ushin. So yeah, Ushin's got a bit of front wing damage as well. Was he collected in the carnage, or was he involved in an incident with Cameron Armstrong? Lee, let's see what he can do in the second sector then. So he picks it up, leaves it in 5th gear. Holds it in 5th, doesn't actually go up to 6th through that corner, but he's done a 44.5, 9 seconds improvement on his lap. Purple again in the second sector. As we saw Toxic MML do a 44.6, I believe. So let's see what Lee Kelly can do then. Through the final corner, can he keep it within track limits this time? Yes, he does. Avoids cutting the curb there. Let's see what he can do to the line, and it's a 3.6. Lee Kelly's really picked up the pace, and basically telling Cameron you need to pick up pace a little bit more to try and challenge for 3.6. And Carrot Finger Oars Alex has been DSQ'd from the quali session. What about Tony then? Is he on a fast lap right now? No, he isn't. Not on a quick lap. Let's go on board with Sondre. He is on a quick lap, and he's going to get a cheeky bit of slipstream from the AlphaTauri ahead. That could be Cameron. We can't see at the moment who it is. Sondre then. That's a bit of a tour then from the AlphaTauri. Oh, very close to cutting that white line. Actually, I think he did go across it a little bit. As he goes through the double left-hander now, more yellows. I'm guessing that's Millen with the damaged front wing. Ollie's called it a day in the quality session as well. There's yellows in sector 1, 2 and 3. And that has probably distracted Sondre a little bit then. But let's see what his first official time will be, as long as he doesn't track limit like he did earlier on in this corner. He's within the white line this time, just about. Keeps it again under control. Let's see what time he can do then. It's going to the line, and it's going to be a 4.8 then. A bit slower than his last time, which was a 4.4, 4.5. But a banker, a 4.8 there from Sondre Sorg, just behind his teammate. As Luke Baker, he's slowing down. I think he's just letting everybody through. What about Alfie then? Is he on another fast lap? No, he isn't. He's invited. But he's currently 6th then with a 3.9999 there, 1,000, just ahead of a 1 minute 4. Not a bad time at the moment, and my top 3 predictions completely out the window at the moment, as Kirsten just improved his time with a 3.7, moves to 3rd place. Very close between the top 3 at the moment. Anybody else on a quick lap? Let's go on board with Millen. He's had his front wing replaced then, as he begins his 2nd flying lap. And apparently he's on fresh tyres. I had the graphic on best on these. I thought he was on 3 lap old tyres there, but a 59 in the first sector, quick sector I've seen at the moment from Millen. But he is up on his time. He's got a Ferrari ahead of him. Hopefully the Ferrari doesn't impede his lap. It's Toxic MML, who's also on a quick lap as well. So we'll keep an eye on both drivers at the moment. Yellow's again in the 3rd sector. That's a Mercedes going slowly. I think he's just getting prepared for his flying lap. Potentially Lordy. It's coming then through the... Not Cameron, sorry. Too many Toxics. Toxic MML in 5th place in the Ferrari then. Let's see what he can do. Through the double right. As here he comes and keeps it within the track limits. 3.8 is his banker at the moment. Let's see what time he can do. And it's going to be a 3.666 there. Moves to 2nd. Miller moves to 6th with a 3.8 then. For the Ferrari, both Toxic drivers, 1st and 2nd, just like it was at Portimao. How about Ushin? Is he on a flyer? Yes, he is. He's on a lap. His teammate giving him a bit of cheeky slipstream then. So, slipstream tactic working for Mercedes. Let's see what time they can do then. As we'll go on board with Ushin then. Through the 2nd sector in the Mercedes. Oh, and he makes a mistake and he's into the gravel. And that is a shame for Ushin. Couldn't get the power down where he needed to. And that is a shame there. Mercedes were working very well to try and get as much time on the lap. And Sondre has also called it a day in the pit lane, I believe. As Yellow's again in the 2nd sector. That's Ushin going slowly. As we're 4 minutes 30 seconds remaining of the session, Lordy's going to go on a lap potentially. We'll go on board with him then. As DRS is active then, using his DRS in hot lap now. As one of the Williams drivers are leaving the pits, actually both Williams drivers leaving the pit lane as well. And same with the Haas driver. Then Lordy, nice and tidy through turn 1. Probably could have handled it a little bit better, but he's got a lot of time to find. 4.2 at the moment. I think he could potentially do a 3.9, maybe even a 3.8 if he can get his lap together. See what he can do then. Down at the 3rd long straight. I believe that's the Williams of Curtis in the background. Hello Cameron with a 3.5 as fastest at the moment. So he did answer to Lee. Did miss that. Hello Lordy. 2.5 tenths down in the second sector then, so he isn't on an improvement. Will he peel into the pits to get a fresh set of softs on the car? And the answer is yes. Got to be careful, obviously, crossing that white line for the race, because you will get penalised. Hopefully nobody does that in the race though. So we're going to go on board with anybody else actually on a lap. Lewis Curtis is on a fly then. We're going to go on board then. Oh, but he invalidates, and that's his lap potentially over. What about Lee Kelly? As he's going to get not any slipstream actually from his team, and just missed out there. Lee Kelly is on a lap. He's looking hungry for pole. The 3.6 is his provisional, and he's almost 2 tenths up in the first sector. Where's Lee finding this pace from? As here comes Lee then. It's really hairpin right, approaching the second sector now. As Alfie dropped to 8th. After he hasn't improved his time yet. He is on a lap, I believe, at the moment. And Cameron Young increases the pace again to 3.3. So Lee's got to find some more pace. He's only 700s up in the second sector. Cameron's really picked up the pace now. The 3.3. Here comes Lee then through the double right-hander. Keeps it within track limits, and that's, I think, going to be his final lap. And it's a 3.526 there, so you wouldn't have taken the position from Cam. As, I believe, Liam. No, not Liam. It's actually Ushin then, who's invited, unfortunately, on his flying lap. What about Tony? He's apparently second down on his lap then. What about Alfie? Is he on a decent time? Apparently he's a 10th up then in the second sector. As we have the Alpine, I believe, of Mumford behind. And we'll keep an eye on the Williams of Curtis. Oh, and he cuts the corner and exceeds track limits. And it's starting to rain in this quali session as well. So the clouds have come in there. I didn't actually notice it was getting cloudy. The rain has picked up in this session. As Tony then is going to begin his flying. Let's go on board with the Aston then. Currently in 17th with a 110 flat then. 5 seconds off the next guy who's in 16th, which is Luke Baker. Let's see what Tony can do. Hopefully keep it within track limits and keep some strong pace. But no, he invalidates again. He's got a minute to get around the track. I don't know if he's going to have enough time. But right now, the Aston is currently sitting in 17th place. Cameron has called it a day in this quali session. Lee's peeled into the pit lane. Edwards invited. What about Curtis? Curtis hasn't, but I don't think he's going for another lap. He hasn't got enough battery left in him, not even enough fuel either. Lodi is on a flying lap then, so we're going to go on board with the Mercedes. So hopefully the rain doesn't impede his lap. Oh, and he invalidates, and that's going to hurt the Mercedes team now, as it looked like they were going to get set up for slipstream. We'll go on board with Ushin then. See if he sets up flying a new fast flying lap. I think he beat a 4.3. As Mumford's also peeling into the pit lane. Same with Alfie. And also Tony then also peeling into the pits. But right now, as it stands, Cameron is on provisional pole as Ushin has backed off his lap then in the end. And I don't believe Luke Baker will be finding any strong pace to match the AlphaTauri or the Haas or even the Ferrari or even the Williams pairing. Right now, Luke is done a 5.2, currently in 16th. Round the final corner he goes then, as the rain is starting to pick up and he loses the rear end, so that may be due to the loss of grip due to the wet weather. And it doesn't improve, 3.8 seconds off the pace then, and holds 16th. But that is the quali session over then for a 20 car grid. Cameron then takes pole with a 3.327 there. Not a bad time for Cameron, and not a bad time at all for AlphaTauri. As Cameron then's going to be happy that he can start on pole and see clean track ahead of him. Hopefully he can get a good start and pull away, because if he doesn't, he could be under threat again from the Williams parent, the Ferrari, or even Lee Kelly, as DRS has been disabled in the session, but it doesn't matter. Qualifying is over. That is your qualifying session ended then. As we go down the official qualifying results then, so Cameron on pole and Lee in second by 2/10 behind. Talking MML in third, Curtis fourth ahead of his teammate Edward in fifth, Liam in sixth at the reserve today, not a bad time. Millam in seventh, who's got a 5 grid placement, so he'll be dropping a couple of positions there. Charlie in eighth, Alfie ninth, Lodi 10th, Favel in 11th, with Ushin right behind in 12th, then very close between them two. Mumford in 13th, Sondra Swag in 14th, Cameron Armstrong 15th, Luke Baker 16th, Tony 17th then with a 10 flat, but 18th, 19th and 20th, no lap time sets or being DSQ'd like Alex there, who's in 20th. But Ross then, maybe getting looked at in that instant between him and Millam in the qualifying session could lead to potential qualifying ban for one of the drivers. But these things happen in the race and in the qualifying sessions. But let's see what the race weather is going to be. Is it going to be clear skies for the whole race, or is it going to be more wet weather to come, as we saw some rain in the final seconds of the quali? And it's clear skies and everybody is on the grid. No threat of rain, as I can see, but obviously the drivers may know something else. Could be potential of threat of rain. And my top 3 for the race, then I think Cameron's going to run away with it. I think with the Williams pairing, again, I think Edward will do better in the race. I think Edward gets second. And Curtis, I think will probably make a crucial mistake and drop the third. That's my top 3 for the race results. Hopefully I can get them right. But I'll just wait for a couple more seconds then for the drivers to load in. So we have 10 people watching now, which is good to see. People fine-tuning their setups with the front wing, tyres, loaner tyres, race strategies, fuel loads, whatever they're doing. Let's see what Donut Denham can do then for today as well. Let's see if he can get a good result. See who can win today then. As the formation lap is underway, and I'm happy Cody's finally fixed this issue, which was on last game. Let's get all the telemetry up then. So the tyres strategies are the top 8 then on hard tyres, with Lodi in 9th and Ollie Favel in 10th on starting the mediums. Then the other Mercedes of Ushin doing a different strategy to his teammate on hard tyres, all the way down to 17th with Tony on the hards, but Ross, Josh and Alex in 20th on mediums, and just been DSQ'd. Now I hope he hasn't forgot to set off, or there was something there. I wonder if there was a bit of contact between him and Ross there. But that is Alex back of the grid then. But Cameron is looking hungry for another win, and the predicted pit stop strategies are 1 stop, medium hard, or potential 2 stop, medium hard. You can go medium soft if you can make the tyres last the distance, but I don't believe the soft tyre is the way to go. And Alex Waller and Ross have been also DSQ'd from the qualifying session, so they're going to be starting on freezing cold tyres. And Tony just a bit back there. I wonder if he had to avoid Ross there potentially. I don't believe he should have though, because he is ahead of him in the qualifying order. But Cameron then getting the drivers line up to the grid as we're about to start the first official race then for IRL this season, round number 1. In the next couple of seconds we're going to go 5 red lights, and then we're going to go to green flag racing. Who's going to win? Is it going to be Cameron? Is it going to be Kurz? Is it going to be Edward? And Cameron's been DSQ'd from the formation lap. I think a lot of people getting DSQ'd from the formation lap. I hope this isn't a bug. Charlie's now being DSQ'd. Sondra's now being DSQ'd. There isn't a bug on that side. I'm just checking. Nope. There we go then. 5 red lights. We get a shocking camera view. And it's lights out and we're underway, and the Ferrari of Josh doesn't get it under control on the start. He's staying on the grid start, and I think he will be DSQ'd then from today's race. But Lee going on the inside of the Ferrari of Toxic MML, and Josh has been disqualified, and so has Ross Denham. There's been a 3 DSQ. Now I don't know if that could be an issue or something as we go into turn 2, as the Ferrari of Lee, Cameron keeps it clean side by side. Williams pairing dropping off, as it's Edward dropping down to P11 there. A bit of contact there as the Haas as well has to avoid the Williams as well, and there's cautions in the first sector. I think there was an issue there between one of the drivers and also with the lobby, as right now then Edward trying to get ahead of the Haas of Millen. Millen keeping him honest, and Millen gets a good run through that corner, and now Edwards just dropping like flies, and Edwards retired, and it is going to be a restart, it looks like, as it was an issue with the lobby, as 4 people got DSQ'd, and I'll just have a look to confirm that. And Edward is typing, I think it is a restart, which is a shame. Just about to go underway, and there's a glitch, so, and there's a VSC. I thought there was something wrong when Cameron got DSQ'd, as some guys now going the wrong way. So yeah, we are going to have a restart then. It looks like. Yeah, definitely on a restart. Sondre moves his way up the field for 3rd. Formation lap is still bugged. I thought it was fixed. We had no issues with it at Portimao, but apparently today we've had an issue. Well then, we'll be going back on green flag racing very shortly then. We'll begin a restart of this race as I was trying to back out the lobby, but it won't let me quick enough. Oh, that's not it. It was 5 for Portimao. I don't understand what the issue was. I wonder if the issue was potentially with the Ferrari getting DSQ'd. Cameron is on Paul Brandt, which isn't a surprise. A guy was obviously sandbagging his pace in pre-season. All jokes aside, no, he did a decent lap. Did he 3.3 for Paul? Yeah, Lee's a couple of tenths off. So it's Lee and Cam who's favourite for the race victory today. However, ignore these results. These are completely wrong. Sorry, definitely didn't win the race with a 1 minute 56 time. But hopefully we can get in the lobby as soon as possible. And I hope the admin does remember that Milan's got a 5 grid place penalty. I will actually let them know if they didn't know. As we join the new lobby then. Do apologise for the issues. It's just Cody's for you. The session no longer exists. Lovely game, honestly. It annoys me this when it does this because it knows the lobby does exist and it's just being stupid. Just give me a second, guys. We should be able to get in very soon. Yep, it's joining now. Yep, there we go. We're in the session. I don't know why it said the first time we couldn't get in. Hopefully everybody can get in as soon as possible. It's 15 at the moment in the lobby. Oh, 17 now. We should have 20 because Josh needs to get back. As we did see at the start, he didn't actually go ahead on the formation lap or the race start at all. He just stayed there. Now, I don't know if that was an issue with the formation lap. I don't know if he had a bug where he just couldn't go, or he just totally forgot that quali finished and he had a race straight after, which I hope isn't the case, and I hope he can get in the lobby ASAP. And Lodi is confirming no formation lap for the restart due to issues. Well, it is a shame. I thought they fixed it, but it's now come up with another bug. As we have 17, who are we missing then? We're missing a McLaren. We're also missing Ferrari and an Alpine. We're missing Sondre, who I think's just joined. I can't remember who was in the other McLaren. Let me just get that information quickly. It was Luke Baker. So we're missing Sondre, Luke Baker, and Josh. So we're missing Sondre and Luke. No, Sondre's in actually, so just Luke and Josh now. Join the lobby. Yeah, it's I know. It's just what happens. At least it wasn't like last game where crossplay you places couldn't invite people, and then when one of the races we had, which was crossplay in Imola, Cameron unfortunately lagged out last season, and he lagged out or his game crashed at one of the things, and we couldn't invite him back, and he couldn't join. So at least that isn't an issue. Obviously, crossplay is disabled though as well. We're not testing that this season. Could be a potential opportunity next season, maybe, if the director and the owner discuss on that. But at the moment, we're just waiting for one more driver, and I believe that is a Ferrari. Yes, it is. I don't think he's going to be joining, as he didn't start the race. But Edward's probably just going to get the lobby ready and waiting. Still 19, though, is a good solid number to go underway with. Just it won't be a full grid if he can't get in. Nope, no, Josh is actually, I think, is trying to get into the lobby, actually. So we'll just wait for that then. But yeah, that's a shame. That it's annoying that we can't have a formation lap due to everyone getting DSQ'd. I don't get how they can't make a game where that isn't an issue. Oh well. Oh wow, wait, I'm just going to get a quick drink. And I am back. Still waiting on the Ferrari to join the lobby then. Is that who we? Yeah, we definitely went on the Ferrari. Wonder if he's having some issues joining the lobby. I'm just going to try and find out. Well, just got 2 minutes before we go underway because he has joined the lobby. He has asked if the lobby is up, but we have acknowledged him. Just don't know why he's not joining. Then back to the lobby. As we do need to get the lobby underway very soon as well, because some of the drivers obviously do have work, so they don't want to miss out on that. He still hasn't joined. He's got 1 more minute, and then we're going to be going. No, so earlier on, if you still are interested to sign up to International Racing League, do go on the Twitter, F1 at IRL, and sign up to the Discord link, and then go to the F1 sign up, and then put your name down, and we'll try and get you the race this season for the F1 Series. We do have a lot of reserves at the moment, but our main goal is to get a second division running this season. Hopefully this season, maybe next season is the option to do it, but hopefully we can start a mini F2 division this season for obviously a lot less rounds than what we're going for this season. But we are going on the way then. Josh hasn't made it to the lobby in time, and that is a shame for him. He won't be racing today, as we're going into the race in the next 5 seconds. As we are loading into the lobby now, as formation lap I believe it is turned off, so no more bugs hopefully. And obviously the only incident we've had this race was between Ross and Millen into one. Odds on tech bottles done at Denham, very high. Not Denham has got high odds to bottle in on the first round. As its new nickname, as he likes to be called. So, I have to wait and see what he can do. You never know, he could surprise a couple of people and get a decent result without bottling, but, I doubt it's going to happen. Yet again, we're going to wait for the people now to pick their race strategies, and we can get on with the race, because we don't want another bug. Because if there's another bug, I think the race won't go ahead. I think we'll go straight to round number 2, which will be next week. Which we don't want. Obviously, we want to get this round done, get a nice round underway, because I believe the next round is China. So, let's get it underway then for the race, as a lot of people now start tuning back into the stream. As I said, my prediction, Cameron, Edward and Curtis, my top 3 for today's race, as I said earlier on. Lee could even be a shout, to be fair, but we saw him put him out. He had some side pace, but in the end, he couldn't keep up. But if Lee gets a good start and actually gets alongside Cameron and gives him a bit of thing we did last time, I put him out. But here it is then, round number 1 at Austria. 5 red lights then, and we're underway. It looks like Cameron's had an okay start, but look at Lee. Lee's had a decent start as well. Going on the outside into 1. Is he going to make it move? As the McLaren in the background making a move on the Alfa Romeo of OP Liam. Charlie and Liam going side by side. Any contact in the background. Red Bull going off the track. Charlie trying to avoid. And Sondre dropping the 16, dropping all down the field. And here comes Luke Baker. Luke Baker making a very strong move into 14th. And Alex making the move now on Sondre Sarg as we go 3 wide into the hairpin. And look at the Red Bulls. Got to watch out for Tony then. Both Astons at the back of the field. And Sondre drops to 17th. Not a good start from him. Cameron then, got to watch out for Lee Kelly right behind him in second. Oh, both drivers making an error. Keep it within the track as we can see Alfa then dropping at 8th, fighting with Charlie in the background there between the AlphaTauri and the McLaren. We can see the Alfa Romeo and the Haas also getting a bit scrappy in the background as we can see the McLaren now under threat by Ushin. Ushin looking hungry to score some solid points this season, especially at the first round. As you can see now though, Millen not that far behind either. Ushin maybe stop using his ERS deployment. As we've begun lap number 1, we keep it fair and square, no contact at the moment then. And Cameron sets the provisional first lap at 10th lap. Obviously that will go down to probably a 6 or 5 or even a 4 if people can do it. Then lap number 2 is underway and we've kept it pretty clean for now. As Ushin making a move on the McLaren, and look at Millen. Millen's now looking hungry. He's making a double overtake potentially on the McLaren and the Mercedes, and Cameron up ahead has lost the position to Lee Kelly. We're going to have to go on board with that in a second, and we're going to go on board with it now as Lee Kelly makes the move into the lead. Side by side they go. AlphaTauri versus Haas. Lee Kelly versus Cameron into turn 3, and Lee Kelly holds the line, squeeze him a little bit, get a bit of wheel to wing there to Cameron. But that was fair racing between the pair, and Lee Kelly then takes the lead of this race on lap number 2. And the Ferrari now looking into the wings as we can see Oliver Bell moving to 11th position right now. As AlphaTauri looking not as quick as he was on the first lap. As Ollie's made a mistake, there's been contact I believe in the background. Ollie's lost a lot of time, rejoins back in 19th. No damage to the car as I can see. Obviously, I could be wrong. Although, back to the fight for the lead of this race as Lewis Curtis sets the provisional fast start of 7.3. At the moment, obviously, times will go down eventually. Lee, Toxic MML, and Cameron Young. Cameron Young now making a move on the inside, fighting for Lee Kelly, and Cameron is into the lead. As here comes Toxic MML, the Ferrari now making another move on Lee Kelly and moves into second position. As you can see, Liam there, just in the background on his debut race for IRL in Bahrain. He won fair and square. Is he going to do it again this season? Toxic MML was weaving a little bit there, probably not happy with somebody's defending or potential damage to the car. As a bit of carnage in the background, we've got to keep an eye out. Both McLaren pair having a scrap for 14th position with Tony. Right now, though, Lee Kelly holding third position. Cameron now starting to pull away a little bit. Gap now 0.6 a second. And if he can pull away, this is going to be great news for him. Because if he pulls away, gets out of DRS, he should be safe for this whole race. Now, Lee Kelly trying to get on board with the Ferrari as I've just realised the telemetry isn't up. My apologies on that end. As Lee then has got plenty of battery to burn. As the fast lap now is 6.9 from Cameron. And is Lee probably going to go for the move, and the gap 0.6. Lee doesn't get a good run. This could open the door for Liam, but Lee Kelly used a bit of his battery to pull away as the Red Bull and the Alfa Romeo peel into the pit lane. It's a very early stop to go for, so potentially they're hoping for a safety car. But right now then, we're going to go on board with Lordy then. He's having a crack of a race, currently in 6th position. Portman, it wasn't his favourite race. He didn't do that good in the race itself. He had to call it a day at one point. But right now he's currently in 6th, holding Alfie Ollie behind him in P7, a former IRL F1 champion. Won the championship just after Matthew retired from IRL F1. Lewis Curtis has also dropped to 9th place. One of the guys who I predicted potentially for the podium. Did say to make a mistake or do something, and has dropped to 9th. Oh, Sandra picks up a 3-second time penalty. He's the first one to pick up a penalty. And this has happened before where he's been able to pick up a penalty very early on and then in the end of the race being DSQ'd due to too many penalties. Hopefully that can't happen today. But right now though, on board with Alfie. Looking hungry on the Mercedes. We'll keep an eye on the action up front as well as some massive slipstream trend. We see the Ferrari making a move potentially on Cameron as we're going to go on board with that right now actually. As Alfie makes a move on Lordy, as we did see that in the background as well. Good overtake there from Alfie, and Mumford drops to 12th as Cameron Armstrong moves to P11. And the Ferrari picking up the pace, but doesn't get enough slipstream to potentially go for the overtake this time out. As we're going on board with Tony, is he going to make a move potentially on the Alpine for P12? Nope, he stays right at the back of him, just waiting his time to make the overtake. As the Red Bull of Alex and Ollie Favell in the Alfa Romeo, currently 18th, 19th, hit off the pace from everybody else due to their pit stop, and maybe they did have some damage due to Ollie's spin. Hopefully they can recover and try and score some points. Oh, as Ross has caught it today, and he is DNF'd into the race. So Donut Denham's definitely done a donut, and he's gone into the wall somewhere, and that is a safety car, which is completely screwed potentially the guys on the hard tyres now, as it could be a medium stint. Some of the guys aren't going to be happy due to this, but Ollie Flavel, Alex don't need to pit. They've already made their stop. They could make a stop later in the race to try and challenge these guys, but these lot who are on the hard tyres, well, it's going to be an interesting strategy what they can do. Lordy though might decide to go on the hard tyres, same Luke Baker, just to get the stop out of the way. But we're under safety car conditions then on lap number 6, and that was due to Ross retiring from today's race. Alex was being given a 5-second penalty, speeding in the pits. And the Red Bull and the Alfa Romeo also appealing into the pits. Alex then out of the pit lane. Ross has left the session then. Well, Ian, you did call it. It was a bottle from him. He made a mistake, and it cost him. But Ollie and Karen Finger decided to peel in the pits for mediums. Interesting strategy. Well, we're now going to be waiting 3 laps, potentially, for them just to catch up with the safety car. But who's peeled into the pits? It's Alfie. Alfie Ollie into the pit lane. not the lead out, sorry, the second driver in the pits then. Let's see what tyres he does go on. Is it going to be the mediums? I believe it will be. Yep, medium tyres going onto the car. Lewis Curtis there got held up a little bit due to a double stack. That leaves the pit lane behind Lodi in 12th position there. Just ahead of Cameron Armstrong. It's Cameron Armstrong, Charlie has actually decided to go on the soft compounder tyre. Interesting strategy. Is he going soft hard with his start? It's going to be interesting because he's going to be quick in this first stage, but as soon as those tyres fall off, I'm going to say minimum of 5 to 6 laps they're going to be good for, but after that they're going to be dead and you're just going to drop off the pace. So as soon as they drop off, just peel into the pits, go for hard. But a very interesting strategy from the McLaren driver. Sondra then trying to catch up with him in 16th, with Alex Ross 17th, Oifel in 18th, and our on retirement for today is Ross Denham then. It's Cameron Young still leads. He had a bit of a fight with Lee Kelly, but Lee obviously made the move, and then unfortunately after that Cameron re-overtaken him and then lost another position to Toxic ML. So both Toxics then, first and second, just like it was in Portimao. Actually, this was the top 3 in Portimao at one point. So this is things to come then. The safety car will be going around again as we wait for the final 2 drivers to catch up with the safety car as soon as they can. A very interesting strategy calls from a couple of drivers then. So Alfie, Lordy, Curtis, Cameron Armstrong, Charlie, Sondra Sohaug, Alex Wazza and Ollie Favell all decided to peel into the pits. Tony, Mumford, Ushin, Millum, Edward, Liam and Lee Kelly and Toxic ML and Cameron Young didn't pit. They decided to stay out and stay on the hard compounder tyres. Maybe they're thinking there's probably going to be another safety car, potentially. Some of these guys on the mediums are going to have to pit again. There's no way they can make the mediums go to the end anywhere. And if they can, it will be a surprise, to be honest. But maybe a medium soft strat for them in the end. Maybe that's why Charlie's got on the soft compound now. So Cameron then is probably wanting to get underway back to the race in again, as he had a 6/10 gap and then it's just decreased. He tried to get out of that DRS zone, but as I've been told by a couple of drivers in this league, they've said at Austria I can't get out of that DRS zone at all. It's just, you've just got to burn all your battery, and as soon as you do that you're kind of screwed. But the safety car is in this lap. Yep, safety car is in this lap then. Ollie Favell and Alex have caught up with the pack then, so Cameron Young is getting ready to start this race then, yet again from a safety car restart. As it was at Portimao, he had to do this. Well then, lap number 8 out of 36. Anything can happen, as we've seen. Wrong retirement causes a safety car. So Cameron is getting prepared, and he has not gone yet. It looked like he went there for a second when he stopped weaving, but he's now gone. He's now bolted, and has he bolted quickly enough ahead of Toxic ML? Not really, but the Ferrari and the Auto have kind of left Lee in the dust there, and this is what Cameron needs. He needs to pull this gap now. He's got to burn most of his battery just to get out of the Ferrari's tour. That's a tidy through 1 and 2 from everybody. Not bad there. The Ferrari though keeping Cameron honest. And they've almost out of DRS range from Lee Kelly, gap 6 times, but Lee's now starting to close it back. Look at the Alfa Romeo in the background there of Liam. Also Edward as well. We've got to keep an eye out the back as well with the McLaren, who's on soft tyres, looking very hungry to gain positions. Oh, as we see there in the background there of Alex Wazza there, not very comfortable on the medium compounded tyres. But we can see Cameron Armstrong making a move on Lordy for 13th position. Red Bull versus Mercedes then. Mediums on one car and hards on the other, so it just looks like the medium maybe the better tyre at the moment, but the hards will come in a meeting. We've seen that ahead, Luke Baker and Alfioli going into a battle. Some battle won't believe to see is now Luke Baker holding Lewis Curtis round the outside. Lewis Curtis goes, he flies around that corner. What a move there from Curtis. As you can see now, Luke Baker on the thread again by Cameron Armstrong. Cameron Armstrong now going round the outside for position number 12, and he's going for it, and he's got it, and it almost looked like there was a bit of contact there between the McLaren, and Lordy is probably not liking what he's seen ahead. There's McLaren's in combat there. Charlie versus Luke, side by side, they go through to 1, and it looks like Charlie's going to get ahead. If I was Luke, just let him go. He's on the quicker tyre, and he does in the end, and Luke runs a bit wide. Now this opens the door for Lordy. Lordy now makes a move, and it takes the position. So with Sondre, Alex Wazza and Ollie Favell. Luke Baker then drops to 18th position. And then back to the action up ahead then. We're going to keep an eye as Charlie's now dropped out of DRS from Cameron Armstrong. 1.1 second and losing time then. As Lee Kelly is trying to keep up with the Ferrari. Cameron Young, 9/10 just ahead of the Ferrari then. So he's picking up the pace as soon as he can before DRS is active. He's going on board with Tony and Mumford then, side by side. Looks like Mumford made a mistake. Now Alfie makes the move. Now Alfie trying to make a move on the Aston Martin, side by side through the double left-hander. Here comes Alfie then, making the move. Can he hold it? No, he doesn't. Has to slip back into the back end of the Aston, but tries to look for a gap again. Can't make it work. Looking for a gap anywhere on the inside or on the outside potentially to try and make the position go, but the mediums right now are just working a treat for Alfie. As we can see in the background there, Lewis Curtis now making a move through the double right. Oh, shoves the Red Bull off completely off the track there, and that could be investigated as Cameron Young almost pulled away, but look at Lewis Curtis fly now. He's going for a move on Mumford, moves now into 10th position. He's absolutely flying. This is what happened in Portimao in the late stage of the race, where he just started picking up the pace and flying. Now look at Alfie challenging Tony for 8th position. But actually, they're actually challenging Oshie for 7th, actually. I didn't even see the Mercedes, but here comes Alfie and Tony. Oh, too wide into the hairpin corner. Got to watch out for the Mercedes. And Alfie, Ollie, has just mugged them both. Alfie moves into P7. What a move. And Tony follows suit, but Tony's getting the next bite. Making the move then. Side by side they go on the left-hander. And Alfie's not having it. Alfie's braking later, keeps the car under control and holds P7 from Tony. What a race in there from those three. And a shame their fortune just losing positions left, right and centre, as now Lewis Curtis now is making a move. And we see also, while that was happening, sort of picked up a second penalty then. That's 6 seconds now added to his time. Lewis Curtis still looking hungry. Is he going to make another move on the double right-hander? No, he isn't. He's going to hold it this time, as he did shove the Red Bull off. But was he alongside? Obviously, we'll have to find out later in the race. But what a run Lewis Curtis gets. He gets a move done. And alongside he goes to Mercedes. And he says goodbye to him and moves into P9. What a move there. And Alfie sets a new fastest lap. A 6.6. Toxic ML picks up a 3-second tyre penalty. Lewis Curtis absolutely flying on these tyres. And he makes another position. Lee Kelly moves into P2 now. Let's go on board with the fight for the lead then. As we're going to go on board in now. Lee Kelly, Cameron, Toxic ML and Liam all scrapping away for P1. He gets to he made a mistake and caused a safety car. That's why everybody's now bunched up again. He did a donut or something and lost control of the car. But right now then, back to the live action of this race. We see an Alfa, Ferrari, Haas and AlphaTauri. We see Alfie making moves on Milam now. Alfie is absolutely fine. Now his next victim is Edward. He's completely fine on the medium compounded tyre. Is it going to be medium then for this strategy? He's completely burned majority of his ERS, only got 10% left, but he's completely fine. Same with Curtis right now. Curtis currently in 8. Tony and Charlie are now switching positions, and we see Tony dropping to a P11. Charlie is also getting some grits on the softs. But in a couple of laps' time, these soft tyres are not going to hold their own, as Lewis Curtis sets a new fastest lap at 6.4, and he's still got plenty of ERS to burn. As we're trying to keep an action everywhere, and look at Lewis Curtis making the move. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and Lewis moves into P7 there, and Milam, is he going to really fight for this position? He doesn't look like he is, and he just lets him go. As we can see, Liam then moves into 3rd, trying to get a good run on Lee Kelly, as the Ferrari is now mincemeat. Here comes Edward Hart, looking hungry, making the move on the Ferrari for 4th position as they're going side by side into turn 4. And they make the move. Second, Alfie tried to squeeze his nose in there. Wasn't really alongside. A bit cheeky there from the AlphaTauri, but Edward loses the position around the outside. He must have made a mistake there. As I was just keeping an eye on Alfie making a move, and look at Lewis Curtis in the background now, trying to get in the mix. It's all heating up. Williams, AlphaTauri, Ferrari and Alfa Romeo all scrapping it out for one piece of track then. As we're on lap number 13, beginning lap number 14 very shortly. As we go on board with Lewis Curtis, let's just see how much grip difference he's got compared to the hards. And look, he's looking hungry already on Alfie, trying to make the move. As he puts on another 3-second time penalty. That's 9 seconds now added to his time. The lead fight is really heating up. Look at Lewis Curtis. He looks a lot more confident on the car than the guys ahead of him, and he's not even pushing. He's saving his battery. Alfie on the hand has just destroyed his battery. He's got barely any left, and he's trying to make overtakes. As people are going into the hairpin, as Lee, Edward and the Ferrari going side by side. We noticed there, and Toxic potentially got shoved out wide there. We're going to keep an eye on action up front as well. And Alfie makes the move, and look at Lewis Curtis looking hungry. He's making the position go. He's going to the inside, potentially 3 wide into the hairpin. He has to brake a bit early to avoid the AlphaTauri for hitting him in the rear end. But as Lewis got him, Lewis going on the inside for this right-hander, but then he's going to be on the outside and double left. Is he going to make this outside line work? He made it work on the McLaren. Oh, gets shoved off there a little bit. The Ferrari has to heel there and give him the position, but look at Curtis, keeps it under control and moves into 6th position, looking hungry, and he could even win this race right now with the pace he's driving with. Same with Alfie, not that bad much of a pace from these drivers, they're just flying. But Charlie, he's starting to lose a bit of time now, in 10th, 2.5 tenths, probably the slipstream's helping them, but a bit of damage on their car, on the tyres especially. They're going to be dead very soon. And here comes Charlie then, trying to make a move. We see Dr. ML now dropping to Millham now. And Curtis has switched positions with Edward, and then Millham almost hit the back end of the Williams there. And Lewis Curtis is looking hungry. He wants the position from Alfie. He's going to go for it, it looks like. Alfie defends. Curtis on the outside. 2 side by side. 1 IRL F1 champion. Curtis losing the rear end. Alfie losing the rear end. A bit of contact there from the pair. But it very cost him actually, because they're almost now out of DRS. They are out of DRS at the moment. Alfie there. Bit late braking. Curtis couldn't keep the car under control. They've got to get back in that DRS, but there's been contact in the background. Charlie and Cameron Armstrong. Bit of carnage in the background, and Charlie's got to watch out from Mumford there. And Tony, has he made a mistake potentially? No, he's dropped from the DRS, but there was contact between the Red Bull and the McLaren. And luckily, Alfie and Lewis, the pace of the mediums, have managed to stay within DRS. Although Lewis is all over Alfie. If I was just Alfie, I'd just let him go. And Lewis has just made the move. Lewis is making moves anywhere right now. And look at Lee Kelly making a move potentially on Cameron. Lee takes a lead, shoves Cameron out wide a little bit. Bit of fair race in between the two. Probably a bit of revenge from Portimao, but look at Liam now. He's now making a move round the outside of Cameron, potentially approaching turn number 4. Cameron tries to defend, but the Alfa Romeo has just got so much speed with the DRS and the slipstream. Cameron keeps his nose in, doesn't really give him room. There's a 3-second penalty because of that. He's done this before where he shoved the driver off, give him a penalty, and he's been penalised for this. Cameron needs to be careful with his overtakes. Very silly from Cameron Young, but maybe on the side I didn't see, he may have been alongside, so maybe Liam could have backed off. But in the end, Lee Kelly takes a lead and Cameron drops a second. But look at Lewis Curtis already on the Alfa Romeo. Same with Alfie as well in the background, just right behind each other, almost into each other's gearboxes. Lewis Curtis is absolutely flying as Toxic MML is in the pits for from the hards. They're only doing 15 laps then, so maybe he's thinking, you know what, let's go mediums. I know Curtis hasn't got the pace. Liam is going for the move. He's going for it. Cameron's going for it. This could end in tears. Cameron on the inside, on board with Liam. It looked like Cameron couldn't be bothered to turn at one point there. And there's a bit of contact there between these two. This could open the door for Liam. Both drivers going side by side. These two have been in contact before in pre-season and today. But here comes Liam then, making the move, a double overtake through the hairpin, and the Williams almost runs in the back of Lee Kelly. That was Lewis Curtis there, completely misjudged his braking point, and Alfie makes an overtake again on Edward. Now look at Miller making a move on Curtis, as Curtis overheated his mediums potentially. Yellow's in the background, that is Ollie Favell going spinning, and the action all over the place at the moment as Cameron has moved back into second place. And Liam into the pits. Cameron's got to give him space. Remember, he's in the pit stop. And yep, Liam in the pits there. Did the pit lane correctly. Cameron off the track there. So that's probably a warning. And he's now under threat by Lee Kelly. Lee almost thinks about going for it. And he holds his own at the moment. And I think Lee actually just shoved him through that corner. As probably he's getting a bit fed up of him just taking less speed through there. Obviously, with DRS release, probably going to help him. But right now, though, Alfie looking hungry for a potential podium in today's race. He's looking very strong on the medium compounded tyre. And then he appeals into the pit spots to the mediums then. Leaving the pit lane now. He's just going to pull ahead of the Ferrari, as we can see Lee Kelly now making a move on Cameron Young for P1. Cameron, though, is definitely not going to give up, and he ain't going to give up without a fight. But look at Millham in the background there. He's now challenging the Williams of Lewis Curtis. Again, round the outside, he's going on the hard compounded tyre. And there's no way the mediums have fallen off a cliff already, especially when Charlie's on 11-lap old softs. And now Tony's also getting in the mix as well, the Ushin of the Mercedes, both Mercedes pairing as well. Not that far from this fight. And Lee Kelly in the pits. I guess another penalty. We'll go on board with Lee. Unless there's a switcheroo with the fights. Try and keep an eye on that. Keep Well, then let's see what tyres Lee goes on. I think it will be mediums. And yes, it is, as Lloyd picks up a 3-second penalty. And overtakes at the moment. Alfie getting close. Alfie making the move. And Alfie is through. Cameron's probably just let him go. Let him pull away. But no, Cameron almost tried to come back at him there through that corner, it looked like. And no, he's not even going to push for the position, I don't think. He's not even activating DRS. He knows he's got it. But he's not activating it. As Edward then seals in third. Curtis re-pitted. So Curtis is probably thinking, you know what, let's pit now, get these fresh mediums on and just gun it while I have these fresh mediums. So Cameron's going to have to pit. If Alfie pits, this is not going to be good for Cameron. He's going to be needing a pit soon, especially with Lee Kelly just peeling into pits now as well. Nope, and he decides to stay out. Anybody else peeling into the pit lane? Nope, not at the moment. As we're on lap number 20 then. Alfie leads, Cameron second. And Edward in third. Lee Kelly picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's going to be crucial for this race. And it could hinder him because it's very hard to get out of this DRS zone. But with this pit stop he's doing earlier, Liam sets a flying lap there. 1:6.154 in the medium compound. Liam isn't messing. He is really picking up the pace. And what was the gap between him and Lee Kelly? Around about 6... Was it 6/10? No, it's not. No, it's 3.30 seconds from Liam. Cameron is under threat by Liam right now. Liam could take the race lead. Oh, yellows, and that is a VSC, and that has aided them. Why was their VSC cold? Was that due to Luke Baker spinning, potentially? Well, VSC's being cold, and that's not going to help Cameron, unless Alfie don't pit. Nope, Alfie looks like he's pitting, and yes, he is. So it's not going to help Cameron that much, but he should get out ahead of Liam. We're on board to Cameron. Let's see how much time he does lose in the pit lane. As the Mercs stay out then, they're staying out. And yep, Cameron does get held up. DRS is enabled, so VSC has ended, so maybe they're not going to gain that much time they thought they would have gained. But Cameron has just lost a chunk of time. And yep, he's behind Lee, and he's going to be behind the Red Bull, so Cameron's potential win has gone out of the window. At the moment, he's going to be behind the Red Bull, but his pace could be like Curtis's, very strong on the medium compounded tyre. And the Mercedes, ironically enough, haven't pit. They probably stayed out, thinking it was a smart decision. I would have risked pitting one of them in just for the mediums. But no, they've stayed out. Maybe they're doing a different strategy. Maybe they're thinking there's going to be another safety car, or they could be staying out to the soft compounded tyre. Lordy's only got 14 lap all tyres. So, I don't know, we've seen the hards now can do 20 laps, back to racing speed. Then Cameron making moves already ahead of the Red Bull. But I think it's game over for him to win this race, even with the battery he's got. Gap, I think, is a bit too big. The gap to Liam and Alfie is 2.1 seconds, and he's losing time. So it's going to be interesting what happens. We're going to go on board with Lee Kelly there as the Mercs. Still Lee staying out. And Lee Kelly, speak about Lee Kelly, he's picked up the fastest lap, the 5.8. Maybe he's the one to go hunting. Charlie picks up a penalty. And Lee Kelly makes a move on Alfie then. But Alfie's probably not going to give up. This is for the championship. Maybe potentially trying to help Cam from Lee to stop pulling him away, because Lee is looking quick right now. Through the right-hander he goes, and Alfie just can't do anything now. He's under threat by Toxic MML. He's got to watch out for this. Alfie did show some strong pace in the mediums, as Cameron picks up a 3-second penalty. Right now, though, as it stands, Liam should win this race, to be fair on him. Should win it, but he is slowly getting caught by Lee. Millen sets a new fast lap. Both Haas drivers are flying, a 5.771 from Lewis Millen. Oh, there's action in the background. I believe that was Tony there. No, it's actually further behind. is between Lewis Curtis and Alex Wasser. Lewis Curtis has been hindered due to the VSC and has dropped all the way to 12. He looked very strong for this race, and a lot of people's favourite to win the championship this season. Curtis has been really quick, and Sondre moves to 13th. Now it's Sondre versus Curtis for position 12. Sondre makes an error. That could open the door for Alex. And not this time, as it keeps glitching out and not letting me select the driver. Back on board with Alfie then. Cameron, 2.4 seconds from Tony. On the same strategy now. On lap 23, the race has started to die down a little bit. But obviously, you still need a pit for the race. Obviously, Lloyd doesn't. Lloyd could potentially go to the end, I think. Yeah. Could go to the end. As Cameron Armstrong pissed with a penalty. As Alex Wasser drops into the pits for 15th. For soft tyres to take the fastest lap away from the top 10. And Toxic MML makes the move on Millen. Millen dropping to 7th. Can't keep the car under control. No, he's not going for it. Haas versus Ferrari for 6th. Both powered by the same power unit. And we see Tony there just in the background watching this fight kick off, and Edward almost actually Edward's under threat by Tony. Tony making a move for P8, it looks like right now. Side by side they go into the double left, and is Tony got the grip difference? And the answer is no. Edward shoves him off a little bit potentially, or he just ran wide, one of the two. But Tony there looking hungry to get some points, especially the qualifying near the back of the grid. Tony's still heating on. We're keeping an eye on the fights everywhere. Alfie now looking hungry. Toxic ML picking up a penalty. A lot of people picking up pens, and here comes Alfie then. Moves to 3rd. Sorry, 4th. Technically 2nd. I wonder if Ushin, if now he's going to say, you know what, Lloyd, just go. And he's going to do a strategy which I haven't seen in a while, where he's going to stay out until those hards decide to just die off and hold everybody else up. I wonder if that is the strategy. And Tony makes the move for 8th as Toxic ML drops to 9th then. Everyone's starting to get reeled in. We could even see Millen win this race, which could be a surprise for everyone. We could even see Lordy win it. So, Ushin into the pits. And everybody now is going to go hunting for Lordy then in 1st place with 19 lap old hard tyres. On at lap 26 then, Alfie, the heat now from both Haas drivers. Millen now moving up to 4th. So maybe at least thought, you know, because I've got a pen, you have it, you go for it. And Millen is looking hungry for this win today. And could we see Millen's first time leading the Drivers' Championship, first time even winning a race, I believe, in IRL. I don't believe he's won a race yet. I believe he's been close, but hasn't won one yet at the moment. But Liam, challenging Lordy already. And Lordy's tyres are just falling off the cliff. 10 laps to go. If I was Lordy, I'd just pit, get the pit out of the way, get fresh soft on, go for the fastest lap, because you know where they're going to hold this position. But I know Lordy, he won't give up. He'll try everything he can. Liam almost losing the back end now. He's struggling with rear grip. And look at Alfie making a move. Going on the inside. Potentially the one. This is risky. And oh my god, they went 3 wide. He's gone very deep. And oh, he blocks Lordy. Hit bit of contact between him. And there's been more contact. Millen's got damage. What was. And there's a safety car. 5-second penalty for the collision with Lordy. That will probably get removed as long as he doesn't pit. But what was Alfie thinking there? That was very silly there from Alfie. Alfie was just, he'd got his head in the box, just couldn't be bothered, it looked like, to make the move properly. Locked the rear, it looked like, as well, through one, and just couldn't keep control of the car. This is benefited Cameron now. Cameron is back in this. Alfie's definitely going to get investigated. So I don't know if there was just him locking up, making a mistake, or he I don't know, it looked a bit odd from that. It's definitely ruined Lordy. He got a bit damaged. Millam's been screwed because of Alfie and got a penalty because of it. And he has to pit for the new front wing. So I definitely can say they're probably a bit annoyed with each other, especially since they're probably in the same party. But this now opens the door for Edward to win this race. Edward hasn't got penalties. Edward can go to the end. And everybody except Alfie. He stays out. That wasn't a good... I don't think that's a good strategy call. I think the softs are the way to go. Lee Kelly stays out. So does Cameron Young. These three might have made a mistake. Let's see what Liam goes on then. It is for a set of soft tyres. And I think the Alfa Romeo and the Haas of Lee Kelly made a mistake. Yeah, I think they made a crucial mistake. A lot of people are going on the soft compounded tyre. Now, it might work. Lewis Curtis now moving up to fourth. He's got nothing to lose. But it's going to be very interesting how the AlphaTauris can do this, because we saw the Haas, not the Haas, the Mercedes on the hard tyres, on the fresh mediums just catching up ridiculously. Now, fresh softs, even though the mediums have gone 7 to 9 laps, compared to the softs, it's just going to be like melting butter. Liam is just going to catch like mad. We saw the grip differences in Portimao with the tyres distance, with the intermediate tyres. So, right now, Liam, even though he's got a penalty, could still win this race. Lordy's in a good shout for some podium. Edwards, very good for a win. Even Ushin. Don't count Ushin, he hasn't got a penalty. But Miller, he's decided to go on mediums. Don't know if that was a mistake. Probably was, but he's the only one who pitted to go out on this set of mediums. He's now going to be under threat by Cameron Armstrong, Mumford, Sondre, Ollie, Luke Baker, and Alex in 18th. We only have one DNF as well, and we've had 2 safety cars. So, I don't think that should have been a safety car, but, well, it's definitely going to be questions asked from AlphaTauri, from the number 2 driver. As Cameron's in, Cameron's decided, you know what, because this race has gone not my way, got to pit, got to go softs. He now realises this. Bit too late to make the call, obviously to do it. He should have done it last lap when he had the chance, but, well, in the pits he goes. As Lewis Curse, Lee Kelly and Alfie stay out. Toxic ML has called it a day in the pit lane. I wonder if he got more damage. And oh, Cameron Young's actually got some front wing damage. What if he had a bit of contact with the Haas under the safety car? I hope that isn't the case. Oh, look, we've just had a second DNF then. Toxic ML has called it a day for today, which is a shame. But Cameron and Ollie, 14th and 15th. Ollie's though got to be careful from the retiring Ferrari. Could cut across him. So McLaren, what about Alex? Got to watch out for that Ferrari. Just go past him. You can go past him. What are you doing? He's DNF. You don't have to worry. Alfie then is in the lead, obviously, but it's just on the safe car. The net leader is currently Curtis. There's no penalties, but Edwards still favourite to win it. I think Edward and Ushin will get first and second, with Curtis dropping the third. And that's the way to go. And actually, we'll have a look at penalties while everybody catches up. Sonia Sohaug has 12 seconds of penalties. We should just give him a trophy for the penalty man or something. But then, Alfie then, as we should be going underway this lap as well, actually. Yep, so Safecar has called it in. Bit late. Alfie then is getting ready for the restart. As I said, could be under investigation by the stewards. But here we go then. Approaching the double final corner then. Here we go. Alfie is underway and he goes and he bolts and gets a decent restart then. So does Curtis. Lee, not that much. Although a bit of action in the background there. That is Ushin potentially. No, that's not Ushin. That's Charlie making a move on Millam due to Millam being on mediums. Edward picks up a 3-second time penalty, so Edward is no longer favourite to win this race. Ushin is the man to do it. He needs to make positions, needs to get close enough, and he could win this race. Liam moves to third. Going around the outside on Lewis Curtis. He gets the position, and now he's boxed in. Cameron Young versus Lee Kelly versus Liam. Liam going on the outside. He's a fair enough alongside. Cameron needs to look where he's going, trying to get in the tour. And he's made it 3 wide into the hairpin corner. Cameron has to back off completely, and Liam, what a move. Moves into the lead. Sorry, not Cameron, Alfie there. My apologies. I'm used to Cameron being up front than Alfie. But Lee Kelly then moves, drops to fourth as Lewis Curtis has a bit of contact with him in the Mercedes. Look at Lordy looking hungry now, making a move for fourth. Could definitely get this podium into the back then. He's looking hungry for this race. 1 lap 30 out of 36, and the track is starting to heat up. The race is heating up, and the drivers are getting ready for war. As Liam is in the lead, and he's had a brilliant start. Gap 1.2 seconds. Cameron picks up another 3-second time penalty. As we can see in the background there, Tony seeing the Williams of Edward trying to make a move on Lee Kelly. And he's made it work. Oh, bit of contact on the exit corner, but holds his line. But look at Lordy in the background as well. He's on the fight as well. Same with the Aston Martin. Look at the Aston Martin fly. He's going for 5th position. I think that was a triple overtake potentially. And he moves into 5th. What a move there from Tony. And a bit of more contact between Alfie and one of the fellow drivers ahead. He's dropped down the field. Alfie's just dropping place. He's getting absolutely eaten by Edward and the Cameron Armstrong. And now Lee Kelly, now Lewis Millen, now his teammate is getting into the mix. And Millen moves to 8th. So Alfie was leading this race within 1 and a bit lap. Oh, there's a bit of contact. There's a big contact there between the Haas and Alfie. I don't know what... Oh, and there's more contact. Alfie is just causing chaos today. I don't know what he's playing at. He's been involved in another VSC. And Ushin's been collected. I think Lordy might have been collected as well within this. And another safety car. It's heating up again. Lewis Curtis may still win this, get a good run to win this race, or even get a podium on the mediums. Obviously, safety car is going to help him, saves him getting caught up. Millen is back in this as well. Even though he's on the mediums as well, he could still win it. Still got a chance. Got to have a bit of luck from stopping Liam to pull away, but I don't know what Alfie's playing at today. I don't know, I didn't see the first part of the accident, but the second part where he rejoined, he looked like he hit one of the cars. 3 separate incidents that Alfie has, and it's not like him to usually be in an accident like that. It's definitely going to get investigated. Lee Baker and Edward looked like he was a favourite to win it. It's now in 14th. Even though Sondra is 9th, with the penalties applied, he would be out the points. Ollie Fell could get some solid points today. So, safety car I think will do one more lap, even if they aren't caught up. I think it will go back under racing. But, well, there's definitely going to be words between Alfie and some of the drivers, because that's just a bit silly. He was involved with turn 1 with Lee and Lordy. Then there was something kicked off between him and another Haas. He's been in instance with 2 Haasters now. I don't know if it was Millen or Lee. It could have been by accident, trying to make a move and Millen didn't see him and by mistake squeezed him off or something. Went off the track and then suddenly I saw him spin the Alpine. Now I don't know if the Alpine hit him or what. I didn't see what happened. All I just saw was the car spin. So Alf could be completely innocent, but it's 3 instances he's been involved. He's definitely going to get investigated, I think, from the drivers. But that it is a shame, because usually Alfie's up there with the pace and he can keep it clean. But Cameron, well, he's now back into the mix. Even though he's got a penalty, he could still get a podium. Let's have a look at penalties again. No, actually, no, he can't get a podium. He's got 6 seconds. I forgot he got an extra penalty. Well, he's basically out of it then, getting a penalty. So that is a shame for Cam. Still could get a couple of points. It's not probably where he would like to start his season. He's had some good strong race pace in Portimao, and he had strong race pace today. He had brilliant quite on pole, and then suddenly the race was going his way, and then safety car came out, and then there was a bit of contact, bit of carnage, and then another safety car came out, dropped all the way back to the field out of DRS range. More carnage, and then another safety car came out, which is now, and the safety car is in this lap, and now he's back in 5th, but with too many penalties to help him to try and win this race, which is a shame, as he was my favourite to win. But Liam, he needs to do what he needs to do to pull away, or Millen has won this race. And the safety car will be in this lap. We'll have DRS on the last lap of the race. So this is going to be crucial then for some of the soft runners to get past Lewis Curtis as soon as they can to challenge Liam. As Charlie and Ushin going side by side in the background, which they shouldn't be doing. Well, Liam can go whenever he wants. He hasn't gone yet. And he's gone now then. And a decent restart. Doesn't really pull that much away. Gets out to slip him all together to stop Lewis Curtis keeping up with him. But other than that, clean restart from everybody. As we go through the field. As right now then, we're on board with Ollie Favell. Oh, actually scratched that. Go on board to Lewis Curtis. Tony making a move around the outside. As we saw earlier on, Tony was flying, and Tony now into second. And Cameron Young moves to fourth, so he isn't giving up very easily. Tony then in second, Lewis, Cameron, former teammates, and oh, look at the Haas behind of Millen. He knows what he's got to do. He needs to get ahead, needs to stay within this DRS. He needs to get ahead, and Karen Armstrong doesn't need to fight this. If I was him, I'd just let him go. He ain't really in your race, but he's keeping him honest and saying, no, you're not going to get past me very easily. You want to get past me, you've got to use all that battery. But he's not doing it. There's more carnage in the background. There's a McLaren going off the track there. That might have been involved with Edward. That could have been an incident potentially with them two, and might be dropping off to give the position back. But Karen Armstrong not slowing the pace. Millen trying to get in there. But he can't right now. Gap currently to Millen is 3.1. He's currently out of the penalty gap. 3.2 now. So right now he needs to get ahead. And here comes Cameron Young and Tony. It's a bit late to make the move, obviously, due to his penalties, but he's making it. And moves into second. It is a shame because Cameron has some strong pace, but Tony isn't giving up. Side by side they go. Lap 35 out of 36. We're on the penultimate lap of this race, but Liam looks like he's going to win it. Oh, bit of contact between Tony and Cameron there. Bit of the front end at the back end, but keep it under control. Now, Millen trying to get back into this with Cameron and Lewis Curtis. Lewis Curtis now dropping positions, and Cameron Armstrong can't keep them together. A bit of contact, a bit on the gravel, and Millen makes the move very quickly there. And bit of dodgy drive there from Curtis, but I think it might have been a bit harsh on that. But gap now 3.7. Liam is safe at the moment, and we're on the final lap of the race. Yellow's in slowly. Liam in the lead then, as we can see Miller now making a move for fourth. And Lordy moves into seventh. Lewis dropping behind. We see cars fighting left, right and centre. Look at Alfie on a charge, trying to recover, and he just whacks the Mercedes there in the back. And Edward has called it a day then for today, as we've got to watch out this fight here. Lee Kelly looking hungry. He wants P7. He's going for it. It looked at one point like he could have even won this race. Could even got a podium, but it fell short due to a bit of contact. Oh, a bit more contact between these two. Side by side they go. We're going to have to keep an eye for the lead. The gap to the leader is from Millen, 3.8. It's game over from Millen. It's victory day from Liam. And Alfie makes the move on Lee, and that was a bit lately, and well, that could be another investigation with Haas and AlphaTauri. But the man who won today at Austria, round number 1, is Liam. He won his debut race in Bahrain. He wins again. He takes the victory, and that is a win there for the Alfa Romeo team. Tony takes second. Millen takes second in the end. Tony third. Cameron Armstrong fourth. Cameron is just dropping places. Mumford fourth. Cameron Armstrong 5th, Cameron Young in 6th, Lewis Curtis 7th, and Luke Baker 8th. Lordy does get points. And I believe that was Alfie in 10th. Obviously, it could potentially change due to the amount of incidents with him. But as I said earlier, it could not be his fault, potentially. Cameron Armstrong, well, driver of the day. I think he started, 16th. So I'd give him that. Did a very good race, but Liam did a solid race as well. There we have it then. Liam, yet again, first round like last season, won. He won again this season. Congratulations to him, and he gets 25 points. I don't believe he got fastest lap, but he takes victory nonetheless at Austria. We have Lewis Millen in second, and I believe Tony then in third, who started at the back of the grid. I'm surprised he didn't get driver of the day. But what a race today, and what a first round. A lot of incidents, a lot of carnage, but a lot of fair and quick racing from the top three as well. And hopefully we can see that for the second round. But then, here is unofficial results, because obviously it could change due to steward incidents looked at. But Liam wins, Millen second, Tony into third, Mumford fourth, Cameron Armstrong fifth, Cameron Young, the defending champion, in sixth, started first, but finished sixth in the end. Curtis seventh, good recovery drive from what happened earlier in the race. Luke Baker eighth, Lordy in ninth, good points for him. Alfie, disappointed for him in 10th, obviously. Bit of carnage with a couple of drivers, could be investigated, but we'll have to wait and see for that for round number 2. Oshin in 11th, Charlie 12th, Ollie 13th, Alex in 14th, Lee Kelly then finished 15th, Sonny Sog in 16th then. Edward, who DNF'd, was a lap down but finished 17th, but Toxic ML, Ross, all DNF'd from today's race. But what a race that has been, and a lot of instance, and as I said, close racing, close fight, especially for the lead at one point between Cameron and Lee Kelly. You can't knock the racing today, but we'll have a look which is the next round. The next round is China, round number 2, which I believe is next week, as long as it doesn't clash with F1. But we'll wait then until China then for round number 2. But what an interesting race. I've been your commentator, Ion Neon or Jared Fosbury. I'll see you guys for the next one, round number 2 at China. Goodbye for now.